Welcome to the Buck Stops here, the official podcast of NotInHallOfFame.com, and I'm your host, The Buck, Kirk Buckner, the owner, operator of NotInHallOfFame.com, and its sister sites, the Fictitious Athlete Hall of Fame and the Fictitious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a special day for me today, as you may have already picked up on if you're a regular listener. I am a big fan of pro wrestling, especially of the late 80s, early 90s. It was a big part of my youth, big part of how I grew up. And when I get to talk to someone who was a part of that, who was actually in the ring at multiple WrestleManias, WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 6, multiple Survivor Series, Royal Rumbles, everything that you can imagine in the WWE of the late 80s, early 90s, this man was a part of. That's the Birdman, Koko B. Ware. He's so much more than the WWE. Prior to his arrival in World Wrestling Entertainment, he was wrestling in Memphis, the Continental area, Mid-South, and as someone who only stood around 5'7", he was a prototype for a lot of the smaller wrestlers that you see today. So I had a chance to talk to Koko B. Ware about all of his career and also his induction, because he's a Hall of Famer. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2009. So without further ado, put your arms in the air and flap them like a bird, because it's the Birdman, Koko B. Ware. It is an honor for me to talk to you, a legend, a WWE Hall of Famer, the Birdman, Koko B. Ware. How are you today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing fine. If I can get this knee surgery done, I would be this knee replacement finished. I will be doing just tickle pink.
Well, I have to imagine that through the years, I mean, you were one of the first high flyers in pro wrestling. And it's not so much the flying, it's, I guess, the sudden landing that has finally taken its toll on, is it both knees or just the one?
It's just the one right now. Thank God. You know, let me knock on my head here. That's a piece of wood up there. that the other one don't give me any problem.
So you are a WWE legend. There's a few things one thing I've always wanted to ask you about, and I actually got to ask your opponent about this in a match of yours, and it's not one of the ones that a lot of people are thinking about. You went up against Tito Santana in Madison Square Garden in a match where you competed as a heel, and it was a match that I'd never seen before up until that time, because that was the pre-YouTube era, and I couldn't go back and see your heel work in Memphis with the First Family.
Right.
Yeah, so for that particular match, I loved it. That was, I think, was that the only match in the WWE you ever wrestled as a heel?
That was the first time.
Was it the only one in the WWE
the
as a
only
heel?
One.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
the last.
And the last, yep. So when I was talking to Tito, because obviously it was a weird pairing to begin with, to have two popular baby faces go up against each other. He said it was your idea to work the match heel, and nobody, I guess this was the days before sort of match agents, and no one had a problem with that?
Right. No one had, after the match they had a problem with it. Vince McMahon, he just said, no more. No, we're not going to have this no more. Koko, I definitely don't want you to be a heel. I said, man, and I guess how this took place, where Tito and I was out there in the ring, just going over different hopes and stuff like that, and trying to have a clean babyface match, and we stumped the whole Madison Square Garden out. The people start booing and stuff like that, like, what are y'all doing? Oh, this is so boring. And I said, Tito, we got to do something, man. We got to do something. And he said, I don't know what we can do. I said, hold on, man. I said, and I told Tito, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn heel on you. And because one of us got to be a heel and one of us got to be a babyface. I said, Tito, both of us were baby faces, but I'm going to turn heel on you right here in about 2 seconds. I backed Tito up in the turnbuckle, and I blasted him. Referee will break it up, and I turn around and cold cock Tito. And when I did that, those people in the garden, oh my God, they come unglued. Oh, they come unglued. And from then on, Tito and I went out there and we had one hell of a match. I'm talking about a match I'm talking about the next match couldn't even follow it. So, of course, I put Tito over. He won 1, 2, 3. And then we got back to the dressing room. The first person I saw was Vince McMahon. And he said, Koko, I don't want you as a heel. I don't want you as a heel. We're not going to have this no more. We're not going to have a baby. I don't want y'all put Koko or Tito as a babyface match again. I said, we can't have that. Golly. And then Pat Patterson said, well, Vince, did you hear the reaction on Koko? Oh, my God, what a heel he could be. And Vince said, no, Pat, I'm telling you, no, I don't want my little bird man to be a heel. So we squashed that night.
Oh, it's too bad because that was I loved watching that, and I watched that actually years after. I think when they were sort of like replaying episodes, because it wasn't on the whole card. It was on an episode of Primetime Wrestling. I think when the WWE Network first started in, I want to say 2004. I could be off on that. Bobby Heenan's gushing on commentary, just putting you over like crazy. I'm assuming if you just did that on the fly, then obviously he didn't know that was going to happen. And I think it seemed to me that he just made that snap decision. All right, I'm going to get him over as a heel, like right away.
Yes, I'm talking about and I really take my hat off to Bobby Heenan for that. God bless his heart. He's gone on to heaven, and but Bobby just saw the heel in me, and the surprising thing about it, I really wasn't surprised by taking over being a heel because I've been a heel before in Memphis, Tennessee, and so that wasn't new to me. You know, I was right. In fact, you know what? I even loved it because I said, man, I feel back. I said, man, I feel like I'm right back in Memphis, Tennessee, doing my thing, that sweet brown sugar. And so that's what it was. I just felt really, really overwhelmed on that. And Bobby Heenan, of all the announcers, one of the greatest announcers that's gone on to heaven, that really put me over big time. And I'll never forget it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that was like a major missed opportunity by the WWE not having you turn heel?
Well, you know what? I believe it was. I always think about Tito and our match. I said, man, if I could have got a good run by me being a heel, because I always want to be that little sneaky, dirty heel that they don't have. And if I got the opportunity now, if my legs was good and everything, and I was in good shape, I would love to go back up there as a heel, and I would just love to cheat to win. Mm-hmm. I would take me a pair of knucks, or pull out a chain or something, or pull out some kind of foreign object and knock the guy out with it and beat him 1, 2, 3. And that's what the fans are missing right now. They're missing that nasty heel. They're doing a great job with Randy Orton finally. Mm-hmm. But if Randy could start beating up somebody, start coming out with a chain or come out with a pair of brass knucks and knock somebody out, man, he would have a tremendous amount of heat.
Yeah, Orton's on fire right now. Definitely.
Oh man, he's box office right now. I mean, he finally got back. If they don't, one time they lost Randy when they came in. They didn't do it right when they brought him as the legend killer, and they didn't do that right. And then now they let him cool off a little while and stuff like that. Now Randy Orton is one of the hottest heels up there. If they let it, only way he got. You see how he got some heat with that hitting that woman. I mean,
Edge's wife. Yes.
Yes. I mean, doing that. I mean, people can't get mad because that was his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Or was that Edge's wife?
No, that's Edge's wife.
Yeah, that was Edge's wife. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she put Randy over big time. He didn't hit her. He just gave her that stunning move because she slapped his face and all that stuff. So she did something to egg it on.
I have to admit that's the Edge Orton match in the upcoming WrestleMania is the one I'm most excited about, even though it looks like it's going to be in an empty arena. But life goes on. That's just how things are.
About it, the last thing about it, it don't look good in society about what Randy did to that woman. I don't care if it's already fixed. I know, but it don't look good to the domestic violence. No,
it definitely doesn't. And
you see what I'm saying?
Oh, totally.
So there's a lot of guys out there. Their wife will slap them around, and then they'll turn around and use Randy Orton move on her, or they'll do something to her, and then say Randy did it. Why come I? And he got away with it. Why come I can't do it? That's the only thing I'm thinking about.
No, I hear you. I mean, and to a lesser degree, or maybe to a similar degree, I think that's sort of like why, even though I think every fan knows that everything's predetermined, I still have an issue with intergender wrestling. It just, I don't like to watch that. Do you have the same feeling on that?
Well, you know what? I do, as long as it's in the right order. I just think a girl should be with a girl, and a man should be with a man.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really think. I don't think when you do something to a woman to knock her out or whatever, or use a move on her, pick her up and slam her down on the mat, I don't think that looks good to our young kids coming up.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I agree.
I really don't like that. I don't like it because it just don't look good, and because we trying to tell our kids in school and all that stuff, don't be a bully and all that, and then they see it on TV that it's okay for this guy to do this and get away with it. If they had did it this way, it would have got Randy over even more if the police would jumped in the ring and came to her rescue and handcuffed Randy.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that.
And handcuff Randy, and then like somebody took him to jail or whatever, and make a whole story out of it. But WWE or whatever, his wife came down there and got him out, and now he's even madder. He's even madder now because he went to jail over this. Because hey, it's a domestic violence case. You got to put that over to our little boys and girls. If you go out here and have something going on with a young lady or whatever, especially the men, you can't abuse them no matter what.
So, Koko, were you ever involved or asked to do an angle that made you uncomfortable like that? Be it in WWE or any other organization?
Yeah, one time I was involved in an angle like that. I was uncomfortable. That was back in the day with Tommy Rich's mother. It's an old tape. I don't know if you ever see that.
No, I'm not
It's an
familiar
old
with
tape. It's, that we shot an angle that I pushed Tommy Rich's mother down on the TV set.
it.
And I just kind of didn't like that, and to me it was like a red flag. If you do that out on the street, you're gonna go to jail.
Was that in Memphis or Continental?
No, that was Memphis.
Oh, Memphis. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, when they think of wrestling, they're thinking of the WWE first. And that's how I know I grew up. Growing up in Canada, that was the main organization that was on television. And it was through the wrestling magazines that I would find out about all these other promotions that I didn't have access to. And so I was certainly aware of your name from articles that I had read. I think a lot of people don't understand how big a name you are in the Western Tennessee area. Because when you were on fire in Memphis, that whole promotion was on fire.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, we would see, for a little bitty guy, man, I was just unbelievable. And just for a little bitty guy, and I'm telling you, I was doing things that people couldn't believe that a little guy could do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just unbelievable. I was the first black that wrestled for the world belt. Ric Flair came to town. I was the first black to challenge Ric Flair for the world belt.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Go back and look at it. 1985, Ric Flair versus Koko B. Ware. Yeah, we had Dusty Rhodes was in my corner, and Bill Dundee was in Ric Flair corner. Or Bill Dundee ran down. He ran down later on. That's what caused me to lose the match, because of Bill Dundee. But we had a big. It was almost a sellout. Of course, the Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee, was only hold 11,000 people. But back in the day, that was a lot of people.
And not only that too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they run that Coliseum every week?
We ran Memphis every Monday night for a long time. And
it was almost always full, which is a staggering amount.
It would go up and down, but when we shoot a good big angle or something like that, then the house it would come up. It would go down. I mean, then it would drop. It would drop a little bit, but we had a live. We was the only live wrestling, I believe, in the country. If we said damn on TV, it went out on air.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no TV taping. I mean, we was live. We was live wrestling at the time.
And that was every Saturday morning, wasn't it? Was it not?
Every Saturday morning. Sure was.
Wow. Who was the first person to take you under their wing, so to speak, that sort of like helped you with that? Because you debuted in, I believe, from what I read, 1978. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So who was the first person to take a real interest in you and just help mentor you along?
That was Uncle Elmer.
Plowboy.
Uncle Elmer me and him became real good friends. He moved. He always had the name and with the connection. He was a good friend of Jerry Lawler's. And Uncle Elmer moved to my little hometown of Union City, Tennessee. At the time, it was a population of about 10,000, but now this population probably, maybe we're going to have, if we're lucky, I'm gonna say about 65,000. And Uncle Elmer, when he moved there, he came in. He wanted to run wrestling. Then he opened up at the same building. He opened up a little furniture store. He was selling furniture, and I was just riding along, and me and him met at that time. But it's another long story behind that, how I really got in the business. But I'm talking about just what you just asked me. How did I really got my break? But it was through Plowboy Frazier. I called Uncle Elmer.
I have to admit, that's not the name I would have thought I was expecting to hear. I think what took a lot of people, and I'm sort of fast forwarding many years here with this, but this is something that I've always been massively curious about. And because I don't recall you doing a whole lot with him even in Memphis, but when you were selected for the WWE Hall of Fame, the Honky Tonk Man inducted you, and I always thought that was sort of an interesting choice because I don't remember the two of you really working a program, but I guess obviously there's a big friendship there that a lot of the fans, including myself, don't know about.
Yes. Well, Wayne and I, like I said, I lived in Union City, Tennessee. I grew up there. And Wayne grew up in the little town of Tennessee, Brownsville, Tennessee. Did you know Wayne, the Honky Tonk Man, Wayne Ferris' real name was Jerry Lawler's cousin?
I did learn that, yes.
Yes. Okay. Wayne Ferris and we all would kind of started wrestling together, and we met a time or two, all of us, except Lawler was already in the business. We met, and then Wayne and I, we just became great friends. And, even now, man, it's good to see Wayne and his family and all that. They live out there in, I think it's Arizona somewhere. And so, and I couldn't pick a better person. I mean, I didn't request Wayne, but I think it was Jerry Lawler that knew that we both was connected together. All of us connected together in Tennessee. So they put all the Tennessee boys together.
So you didn't have an input as to who was your inductor?
No, I didn't. That's the only thing. They didn't tell me. They just, hey, Wayne is going to come out and represent you, and what could I say?
Well, I mean, clearly it was a good choice for you.
Well, you know what? That's the only reason I didn't have no problem with it. And if I had a problem with it, then what was they going to do? I mean, I couldn't stop what was going on. No way. If it wasn't Wayne Ferris, it had to been somebody else. Then what could I do since they already had it laid out on the program?
Oh, wow. Okay. So when did you find out that you were going into the Hall of Fame? Like, is it Howard Finkel who gives you that call?
No, there was a guy named Johnny. Johnny Ace.
Oh, John Laurinaitis. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, John. Yeah. He called me and he wanted to tell me about, hey, this is a big secret. Don't tell nobody. And the whole gaga, and all that stuff. I said, okay. But myself, I just couldn't keep my mouth closed. But I told all my relatives and everybody, because I wanted them to see me on national TV getting crowned as a Hall of Famer. But I guess he didn't want me to say anything until they start announcing it on TV. And of course, my own family knew. I mean, they knew as soon as I got off the phone. I told my personal family, and And but my other relatives, I told them later on, and once they start announcing it, and next thing you know, it got all out,
Mm-hmm.
and man, and I said, golly, but it took them 20 years to put me in the Hall of Fame.
Well, in their defense, though, the Hall of Fame went dormant for many years until they sort of brought it back out until it was 2004.
Right.
So
right, yeah, it was going downhill and stuff like that, and just I'm glad they brought it back. I'm tickled pink to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm very grateful, and I just wished I had a little funds to go with it the rest of my life. I don't care if it's $1,200 a month or $1,500 a month. I would love to have something like the NBA guys. When they put them in the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. Well, when they retirement or whatever, they have their little
well, they have a pension. A pension.
They have
fund.
a little pension. They have a little pension. Yeah, what I'm trying to say. They just have a little pension that they can have. This is like a little token. Thank you so much, Koko, for your hard work. And I was looking at the Hall of Fame should be, if they induct you into the Hall of Fame, that means that you was outstanding. You was outstanding with the fans. You was outstanding with everything. Nothing but 5 or 10 stars. And you mean that they can't take care of you, send you something rest of your life? $1,500? They can't do that, or give you life, or give you insurance for life, or give you health insurance for life.
Do you get any revenue from the network? Any residuals, or not very many?
Well, you know what? I used to get on my residuals. I used to get it was going pretty good, but now I guess all the sales and stuff all that stuff is down for this year, for this past year, 19. Man, you know what? I probably buried. I'll be honest with you, and this is living truth. After each quarter last year, 2019, I didn't even make $200
out of royalties.
A quarter.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I got my checks. My checks was $54. If I think one was $54, one was $60-something and stuff like that. But the highest check I ever got, and this happened years and years ago, maybe about 7-8 years back. It was $14,000 for the quarterly. Just for that quarterly, I made $14,000, and that wasn't so bad. But after that, everything started dropping down.
And imagine a lot of that has to do with the lack of, because they don't do the DVDs anymore, and I know their main source is doing everything on the network, which, I mean, so much of your footage is there and available to see, but I have no idea, and I guess sounds like to me like a lot of the wrestlers don't either, how they sort of decide to sort of divvy up that money or that revenue.
I don't know. I mean, you can tell me we got merchandise all over the country, and they come up out of 3 months, $54 check that Koko get. I can't vouch for anybody else. I can only vouch for mine. And you know what? I'm not going to tell a lie on this broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell the truth. Even WrestleMania 3.
Mm-hmm. You against Butch Reed?
How much do you think that I got paid for WrestleMania 3? And was you there, or did you see the crowd?
I saw that on closed circuit TV. I was living in Canada at the time, And so I wasn't in Detroit, but I did go with my uncle to watch a broadcast in actually a place I did see you wrestle live in, Cops Coliseum in Hamilton.
Right.
And that arena was packed. All to watch that.
So how much did you think I should have made in WrestleMania 3?
Well, let's see. This is
93,000.
All right, Koko. This is like when I was single and I was trying to date somebody, and they say, "How much do you think I weigh, or do I look good?" You know, they're. So let's see. What do I think you should have got? It should have been at least 5 figures.
Well, you know what? I got. They took $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they split it between Butch Reed, Mr. Natural, and myself.
So 10,000.
Yes. Now, was that a good payoff or not?
For the amount of revenue that would have generated, I'd say no.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right, my man. That's what I'm saying. They gave us that. We couldn't say nothing. If you said something, you would have been fired. You had to take what they gave you. And their thing was, where are you going to make $10,000 like that?
Right.
And then had to wait for 3 months to get it.
That's that's the thing that sort of always befuddled me. I mean, I can understand that they have to get their revenue too, especially when some of that income's coming from a pay-per-view stream and they're not getting that income. Having said that, I would imagine, and I'm just trying to go back here in my memory bank here. So like a guy like Adrian Adonis, who's on that same card, but then was fired a month after. I always wondered what he would have got when he was in, I don't want to say a semi-main event, but for me personally, I was a huge Roddy Piper fan. So for me, that main event wasn't Hulk Andre, it was Adonis Piper. Because that was the one that I wanted to see. But if he leaves or is sort of pretty much forced out a month later, how much input does he have on what his possible income is going to be on that potential payday?
Right. But see, they turn around and give Steamboat and Randy Savage a good payoff. They turned around and gave Hulk Hogan and Andre a great payoff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Hogan, and there's nothing wrong with it, that's why he's able to, be down in Florida on his on his land down there that he have, real nice property and everything on the beach where he lived right off of like a little island and stuff like that, because he made incredible money.
Although,
and I am proud.
Although to be fair, I think Hulk's ex-wife has most of it now.
No, Hulk has got. Well, Hulk has got. He's got money. He's got money, man. He's sitting on millions. His wife kind of hurt him a little bit. But don't you know? Hulk came back after that lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. The Gawker suit, yes.
Well, he won that one.
Yes, he did. There's actually a great documentary on Netflix about that. And
he got pretty good payoff on it too.
Mm-hmm. And I think I hope I'm paraphrasing this correctly. And it's not like you're begrudging though like Hulk and Randy Savage for making good money. It's just like there was enough of that pie to go around to the people
That's
who
what
helped
I'm
build that
saying.
card.
I'm not. I wanted Hulk. I want everybody to make their money, but don't beat me out of mine.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I'm not saying that it wasn't fair. I mean, it wasn't fair, but on my part, I can't say what Hulk got, but I do know Hulk got a real good payoff. And I can't say what Randy Savage got, what Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, what he got, and all that stuff. I'm not gonna get into that. Mm-hmm. That's none of my business. My business is only concerned about what little Koko B, the little Birdman Koko B Ware was supposed to get. Got. That wasn't right. I didn't think the payoff wasn't right.
Did you ever make royalties from the Piledriver album?
But that was all part of the little 54, the 3 months quarterly deal that we have now.
Oh, okay.
See, we do it. The next quarter comes out in March. Well, not March, but April. It's the end of March. It's always right before the quarter. When the quarter comes up, it's the month before. The month before, at the end of that month, I get something in WWE, and you know what? It might be a surprising. It might be a surprising package this time.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope so.
You know, but my thing is, I don't look for it because, I know what it was at the time, has been and stuff like that. So I don't even look for that.
But
so I don't even worry about it. I just open it up, and if I get a good blessing in there, and everything is a blessing to me. If any kind of money comes in the mail, that's a blessing. But this is something. But there's some money that it can help you, but you really can't help you. But you still got to accept that as a blessing, and take it and run with it. And I can't call these folks up and try to argue them down. Why y'all send me $54? That's what I want to say. Why you guys send me $54? And you could have kept that for the next quarter and added to that what I got coming on the next quarter. But I guess that's too much paperwork.
Guess so.
So, that's what I was looking at. Why cut a check for? But I have had people cut me a check for 34 cents.
For 34 cents?
I call them up and I said, why'd you send me a check for 34 cents? Well, to keep our records straight and all that stuff. I said, well, you think I said, it's embarrassing to take this to the bank, 34 cents. Now, if I had like 12, say if I had 25 checks for 34 cents, yes, I'd take it to the bank. It'd be worth it. It'd be worth it to take it to the bank. But I'm not gonna, that's still no money, but I'm not gonna do that. I just rip the check up and say, hey, more power to you. So y'all don't have to worry about it. At least you don't have to file income tax on it, nothing like that.
Did you get a bump in? Did you get a bump in pay or like a bonus when you recorded the Piledriver song? Because that album sold a lot.
Well, if I did, I really don't. I can't remember selling anything or getting any kind of good royalties off of the Piledriver video. It's the video and the record. I can't. I hope Jimmy Hart and the other guys made money off of it. The guy that produced the Piledriver, I can't even think of his name now.
Was it Rick Derringer and Dave Wolf?
No, Rick Derringer did something else.
Okay.
He did something else. Hoochie Coochie Rock and Roll or something like that.
Yeah, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
Yeah, Hoochie Coo, yeah. And but the guy that wrote the Piledriver, he was a young man out of Connecticut there somewhere. And Vince them, very talented guy. I really like. I can't even think of his name.
Was that Jim Johnson who wrote it?
Huh?
Was that Jim Johnson?
I think so. Jim Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Jim Johnson.
The music actually was something that I really wanted to talk to you about too. Am I correct? Because again, everything that you read on Wikipedia isn't necessarily true, and that's something that we'll address at the end of this interview, because I know that's something that we promised we talk about. You were in a gospel group before, were you not? Long before wrestling?
Yes.
Okay, so
right.
That's how they knew you were a singer.
Well, the reason why, no, they knew I could sing. That same WrestleMania out there in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had a live band, and everybody celebrating out there the WrestleMania in Detroit. And I asked one of the guys, could I come up and sing a pop song or whatever, and they couldn't believe it. They didn't know how this was going to turn out, and they were just kind of all like, oh my God, he said, you really can. You're not going to embarrass nobody. I was just kind of, I know what I was going. When I told them what key I was singing in, they going like, oh, okay, wow. Well, you familiar then with the song, And I got on stage, and of course there's a lot of WWE people out there watching. I think Vince McMahon and all of them were there, and they were shocked because I never did tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And I got on stage, and man, I rocked the house. I'm talking about I rocked the house with that band.
Do you remember what song you sang?
Yeah, I sung like an Elvis song. You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. I did a Hank Williams, a short version of a Hank Williams. Move It On Over because the big dog was moving in. And man, I'm talking about, man, I was doing that twisting and going on, and that's when I had great knees, and boy, I could just shake my bones all over, man. And I just thought I think I figured one time that I was a better dancer than Michael Jackson.
Well, you were one half of the Pretty Young Thing, so.
Yeah, that's where we got that from Michael, one of the Pretty Young Thing. But after that, boy, Vince McMahon said, "Hey, you gonna be on the next wrestling album and stuff?"
And sure enough, you were.
And yes, I was on it.
I always I was rewatching a lot of this, prior to the interview. So watching that Piledriver video, you were the only one who wasn't mean to the boss. Of course, the boss never knew where you were. You were just on top of somewhere singing, like in that video.
Oh, in the video?
Yeah, in the video. I mean, like it's like, okay, this is the most muscular construction crew ever. But they're not really accomplishing a whole lot.
Oh yeah. I worked out a lot, man. In fact, I just had to stop working out because of my knee right now. I'm not able to even go to the gym without my knee trying to pop out. And it just broke my heart when I had to stop working out right now. Because I don't want to end up getting soft and looking terrible and stuff like that. But I look really good, man. I really, really look really good. Got my weight back down where I wanted to be at, and it was like 208. And, man, I'm just kind of just like a little chill, look chipped here and there and stuff like that. Because Koko just, man, he just carved over here and carved over there. Got my pythons looking good and stuff like that. With my legs, man. I mean, you know, and I was on the treadmill every day and just working out good, man. And you know, now it's just kind of train just slow down. And I'm not gonna, and that's why I'm just not eating. I'm not really just eating a whole lot now because I'm watch what I eat because I don't want to gain this belly back. I don't want that Budweiser belly anymore. You know, I just do not. I don't want that. I don't want it. You know, and I want to stay looking healthy to the fans and stuff like that. And but man, I tell you, I was in a good shape.
Yeah, and actually, and they showed off too that montage at the end. I mean, technically, it's not a Piledriver; it's the Ghostbuster. But I'd never seen anyone do a move like that before. From what I was reading, again, I don't know how accurate this is. That was a Killer Carl Cox move. But is that where you got that, or like where did you come up with using that as your finisher?
Well, I saw when I was in Dothan, Alabama, working for the Fullers, Robert and Ron Fuller. There was a guy named Louis Tillett.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with him.
And Louis Tillett, he used that brain. They called the Brain Buster, but I changed it to the Bird Buster. Louis, I was sitting there watching his match one night, and he used that Brain Buster, and I jumped up and I grabbed my neck. I said, "Oh my God, he broke the guy's neck! Oh my God! Oh, I know this guy's hurt." And I'm still one of the boys. It was so convincing to me that I wanted to learn how to do that. And I wanted to take it to the ring and do it. But I went to Louis, and Louis showed me. He showed me how to do that. He said, "Now you can't break somebody's neck, Koko, if you don't hold his neck right. And you got to make sure that his neck is all the way close to your, right up under your arms, tight. When you come down, if one slip out of your arms," I said, you could drive his head in the mat and you could break his neck. So you can do it the easy way, or you can hurt somebody. And I did it, and I had a few practice with him and stuff like that, and I got it down to a scientist, and I perfected real good, and I started using it, and the killer thing of it, the way he did it too, he held the guy up in the air, and then you count 1,001, 1,002, drop. It looks like a suplex, but it's not. Everybody thinks it's a suplex, but it's like a missile. Actually, it's a reverse spaceship taking off.
When you take that to a new organization, so when you take that to Memphis or then the Mid-South and the WWE, you have to get permission to use that as your finisher, or as long as no one else is using it, it's pretty cool?
No, they knew all about that. That was my finishing move.
Okay.
So the boys gave us, we gave each other respect for that. I never did use the leg drop for Hulk Hogan. I never did use the fire for Jerry Lawler if he wanted to throw fire, or use some kind of stuff like that. But we always looked after each other. We wasn't a copycat. Mm-hmm.
When did you start using the Morris Day song as an entrance?
Okay, after I got Solo and stuff. I went solo. You know what? I was the Birdman before. I had birds on my tights. I just didn't have a parrot until I had the meeting with Vince McMahon. That's a long story.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became once I got accepted to the WWE back in 1970.
It would have been 86. I
mean, 86. Yeah, 1986. Well, my wife, God bless her heart, my first wife, she was a cheerleading dancer and stuff like that. She the one came up with the Mars Day gimmick for me, song.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was a cheerleading teacher and she used to teach a lot of little kids how to flip backwards and stuff like that. We used to take all the kids to Florida and compete and stuff like that. And she said, "Honey, I got this dance for you to do." And I said, "What is it?" She said, "Oh, you can do this since you're the Birdman. You can do that Mars Day dance where, you know, and it's very easy because everybody can do it, you know, and they don't have to make a fool of themselves, or you don't have to make a fool of yourself." He said, "Man, you know, just go out there and do that, flap your wings and stuff like that, and dance to that song, and take it to the ring, and so that'll get over real well." And so when I had the interview with Vince, I ran across to Vince about, because Vince McMahon, Vince he still lives, but back in our day, Vince was a genius of coming up with ideals and stuff like that. I mean, and my wife, when I had the meeting with Vince, I had to go up and meet with him and stuff like that and see if I want to make a move, come up there. At the time, I was down in Mid-South Wrestling in Louisiana under the promoter Bill Watts. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to speed it up some here. When I went and met Vince and stuff like that, then when Vince came, after the meeting was over, I was walking out of his office. I never forget it. He just kind of walked. I mean, he hollered. He said, "Koko." And I turned around. I said, "Yes, sir." He said, for some reason, because I sure forgot about it, because I had it all already put away. He said, "Is there anything else you'd like to add to your gimmick?" And what did he say that for? I said, "Oh, yes, Vince, I forgot. My wife is going to kill me." And I went in my shirt pocket and flipped out this Polaroid picture of this bird, this blue and gold macaw bird. And I said, "Vince, I would love to have this bird to travel with me if we work out this deal and stuff like that, everywhere I need to go." And he said, Vince looked at it. He said, "Oh my God." He said, "Really? You want to bring a parrot?" He said, "Oh, I can't believe it." He said, "Well, we got a dragon. Now we got a bulldog. Now we got a snake. Now we have a bird." He said, "Man, what a hell of an ideal. Golly, what an ideal." And that's when I used that whole gimmick as the Birdman Koko B. Ware. And so that's what started my career in WWE. And I went out there, man, I was on fire. My mind was out there. I knew I was a short little guy, but I had a lot of energy. And I knew about the big man role and stuff like that, but my mind never played as a big man role, but I knew how to work with the big guys, and I had the big guys love me because I would put the big guys over like they're supposed to be, and I never did want to beat a big man because I didn't want to have that title as a giant killer. I mean, as a midget killer, giant killer as a little midget.
No, it was actually just you're talking about the bird. It made me think. I've never thought to even ask you this before I was doing all my prep. How did you move? Like, was it easy to, or I guess it couldn't have been easy bringing Frankie from place to place?
Well, it was a big test for a while. We got used to it and stuff like that. That's what McMahon was saying. Are you gonna take this bird everywhere? You know, you got to take this bird everywhere you go. And I said, yes, sir. I said, but I'm telling you what, Vince, no, I call him McMahon, Mr. McMahon. I never did call him Vince until a while, because he told me his story. Call him Vince. You don't have to say Mr. McMahon, stuff like that. I was just out of respect from home training. I told him, I said, this right here, with this bird, Mr. McMahon, I said, with this bird that I take around with me, it's gonna put me over just like I'm up there with. It's gonna put me up there with Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Don Morocco, Paul Orndorff, Cowboy Bob Orton. All of these guys, Mr. Fuji, the Demolition, all the big guys and stuff like that, man, it's going to put me up there with them with this parrot. So if I don't have this parrot, I said, I'm a dead duck in the water. That's what's gonna make me be a part of Hulk Hogan and all these other monsters that you have here. I said, the kids gonna love me because I have something that they want to see, the little bird. And stuff like that. It's a totally new gimmick. It's totally something different from everybody. And that's what opened up the doors for guys like Rey Mysterio today. Guy like me broke the ice for Lil Ray. Ray is an incredible wrestler. He's an incredible performer. I did my moves back in the day. The people loved it. I was the first one to come off the top rope, drop kick somebody, and land on their feet.
And that still holds up today.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I mean, I did all of that. I just, there's a difference from me and Rey Mysterio, and there's a difference from me and any other of these high flyers in there. I think Kobe Kingston is the only one that's close to me.
And so that when you're looking at the wrestlers today, that's the one you see most of yourself in, is Kofi?
Yes. I see Kobe. Is remind me of me so much, and what a hell of a performer he is. They just would not. I don't know, they just would not give him or any of the rest of them a chance.
Well, he did win the world title last year, although the way he lost to Brock Lesnar, I wish they could have. We knew Brock was going to win. I just hated seeing him lose in 6 seconds.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. That wasn't right, because they're not going to. You put the shoe on the other foot, they're not going to do it like that on the other end. That means that was just a Band-Aid to put on the black popularity. Just to keep their mouth shut. And say, okay, we made y'all. We got one of you guys here champion. Gonna beat Brock Lesnar and stuff like that. Gonna beat him. Okay, Brock, go out there and beat him in 2 or 3 minutes. It's over with. Bam.
So you because I know when you were coming up, there wasn't a whole lot of African American wrestlers. I think when we mentioned WrestleMania 3, I think you were only one of 3 who were on the card. Yourself, Butch Reed, your opponent, and Junkyard Dog. And my apologies to anyone I'm missing. The WWE now certainly has a far greater representation of African American talent. But do you feel they're still held back by Vince and company through systematic racism, maybe?
Well, I think that their talent is just as good, and they are held back their talent. You put them in a money spot. I think they can handle that. I still think they can handle that instead of seeing the same wrestlers each and every Monday night. Just put something different in there. Mix it up. I'm not saying take away this and take away that, but mix it up. Make the fans, make everybody, because everybody watches the wrestling, they love it. And you want your generation, you want your culture to win sometimes too. That's even in the boxing thing. I want to see the white champions. I want to see the black champions. I just want to see, I want to see the Chinese champions. I want to see Russia champions or whatever.
Just entertain me.
Just entertain the hell out of me. That's the thing. I want to see a Russian in there to win something, because it's good for the Russian people. Hey, we got a champion over here. We got a champion. Let's don't just close and shut the doors. And just put them on the card and go out there and dance.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask one thing, and this might be where you might plead the fifth and just say no comment. A few years ago, and this actually, if you Google your name, one of the things that comes up almost right after is Koko B. Ware destroys a jobber.
Well,
so you already know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, and I have commented on this many of times and stuff like that. And this match wasn't against. It didn't have anything to do with just destroying a jobber and stuff like that, because the jobber, if we want to give him that title, I don't want to give him that title like that, because he was a team player. He knew what we wanted before we went out there, and what we was trying to do is to get me over and say, hey, I'm gonna be a little stiff on you, and I don't mean it. Don't take it personal or anything like that, stuff like that, but I'm trying to get over on TV, especially in Memphis. You try to. That's how the Jerry Jarrett promotion was trying to get guys over like that. Hey, you got to go out there, man. You got to be rough and tough and on TV and stuff like that, because we want to try to draw some money with you. And I told him, and I just told him when I go out there, I say, I'm gonna be just a little rough. I'm not gonna knock your eyeball out or anything like that. I'm not gonna punch you in the mouth or whatever. But I might lay the licks in, your belly shots and stuff like that, and lay them in just a little bit, not just real being a real crowbar that we call stiff. I'm not gonna do that. I know, He said, man, just go out there and do what you got to do. He was like, man, I'm just proud to be out there in the ring with you, and got a chance to. My family can see me on TV and stuff like that. I said, okay. well, that's that. Well, that's how it goes. I said, because I got a chance on wrestling. Everybody was trying to build this ladder up to wrestle against Jerry Lawler, and that's the direction that we was going. Everybody wanted to wrestle Jerry Lawler because he was sitting on top of the ladder, looking down on everybody. Hey, when can I get somebody good enough to come up here on this ladder and challenge me? So that's where that came from.
Okay, yeah, and just putting that into context for those who aren't aware, that was it was in Memphis television, and I think people, when they're looking back at that, it's because your demeanor in the ring was not typical of what people are used to seeing. You weren't coming in there smiling. You were very focused, and it sort of had a different feel.
I was a mean heel.
Right. So I mean, so there's a lot of people looking back when they're thinking, okay, well, Jesus, did this guy date his sister or something? Where so like nobody wanted to believe that he was in on it for that particular individual. So and it was different. I mean, you were fantastic watching that. And I was trying to find, and I apologize that I brought that up because I wasn't able to find any interview about that. So I'm sort of glad to get that out. Koko, where can people follow you on social media, or are you on Facebook, Twitter?
I'm not on either one of them because I just don't get out there and get in the public's eye or like that. I'm just an old down home guy. Just be at home and and that's it. I wait on promoters to book me on a lot of the wrestling shows and stuff like that. Wrestling cons and all over, and they book me. They call me up, and if I'm available, then I go out there and sign autographs, and then I go out there and see the fans out there. And I really miss the fans, and I really appreciate all the fans for all the work that they've done. They helped me get into the Hall of Fame. Just being a Koko B Ware supporter of all these years, and I'll never forget you. I just don't see you much now, but I'm still alive. Frankie's still alive, and God, and I hope you all are still alive and doing well as we are. All
right. Thank you so much for being a part of this. It's been a privilege, and hopefully we'll be able to do this again.
I really, really hope so. And I want to say too that that we didn't bring up.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, that's true.
I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, because one of those things. Because the first time we spoke off air, I incorrectly addressed you as James because according to Wikipedia, it says that's your name. It's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. My father's name is J.W. Ware. Okay, I was the only son, and he named me J.W. Ware Jr., which the J doesn't mean James, the W doesn't mean Willie, whatever. It doesn't mean anything. Wrestling fans, my name is J.W. Ware. Okay, it's not James Ware. And I was born in 1958, not 57. 1958, June 20th, 1958.
So for anyone listening who can sort of alter that on Wikipedia, and I think I know a couple of people who can, we're gonna try to get that fixed for you because I know how annoying that's been for you.
Oh yeah, because when I talked to promoters, they said I go ahead and do your plane ticket, and they make a plane ticket out of James Ware, and if I don't catch it, I can't go to the airport because they're going to turn me around. Security would turn me around.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Fan,
so we'll get that fixed.
Out there that's listening, please put me under J.W. Ware, okay? You don't have to go junior. You can go junior if you want to, J.W. Ware Jr., or you can just go J.W. Ware.
Perfect.
And, you know, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. That was something that I know that I promised you I'd bring up.
Oh man, it just popped on top of my head. I don't know. I got 10,000 things working, and but I want to say this too. I just said to the fans out there. I don't know if it's have anything to do with it. You know, I'm having a knee surgery, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned that.
I was gonna say to the fans, I'm looking forward for you to putting up some kind of PayPal.
Yeah, we can look at we can look at some way to to do a GoFundMe, and I'll look into that for you.
Yeah, and I want the fans to support me on this and stuff like that, because the Birdman definitely wants to stay, keeps his wings strong, his legs strong, and stuff like that. And I'm just a little down right now, but I'm just asking the fans for their help. And whatever you give, more God bless you all and stuff like that. And I really, really appreciate all the hard work and stuff like that. I got to have surgery. I go to the doctor tomorrow, which is March the 19th, and we're going to see what's going on. And I want everybody to stay safe because of this corona virus is out there. Man, that we don't want to. I hope any of my little birds just don't run it, don't get it. I hope I don't get it. I hope you don't get it, Kurt, and stuff like that in your family. And they said now the pets might be trying to get this virus as well. So we just got to keep everything prayed up and stuff like that, that God is going to come through and take all this away. And hopefully that we can get back to normal again. But we're going to go through some rough times right now. And I want to say all of my fans out there, I love y'all. I love you, Kurt, man, for this interview and stuff like that. And if I said anything out of the way that I hurt somebody, stepped on somebody's heart, please don't charge it to my head, my heart. Just charge it to my head.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the interview with the Birdman, Koko B. Ware. We'll try to set up something to help him out. With all the memories that he's given us through the years, I think we can help him with a bit of a knee replacement and bring him back to full wing capacity, let's say. Look for more interviews soon from us at nothalloffame.com, and as always, we thank you for your support.